Multiplying and dividing integers. Learning intentions. Multiply and divide integers. Remove brackets with negatives. Multiplying and dividing integers. 4 groups of minus 2 is minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, which is minus 8. Because if we add them and we keep the sign, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8, and we keep the minus. This can also be written as 4 multiplied by minus 2, which likewise gives us minus 8. Also, minus 2 multiplied by 4 gives us minus 8, because multiplication of integers is commutative, meaning that the order won't change the result. So 4 times minus 2 is minus 8, and minus 2 times 4 is also minus 8. The example above illustrates that a positive number multiplied by a negative number results in a negative number. The same rules apply to division as apply to multiplication. So let's have a look at these examples up here in the top right. 4 times 2 is 8, so a plus by a plus is a plus. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8, so plus times a minus is a minus. Minus 4 times 2 is minus 8, so minus by plus is a minus. And minus 4 times minus 2 is plus 8, so minus by minus is a plus. So when multiplying or dividing integers, like signs give plus, unlike signs give minus. So same signs give plus, different signs give minus. So a minus by minus is a plus by plus is a plus. But if you multiply a minus by a plus or a plus by a minus, you'll get a minus. So this is a summary of our rules for multiplying and dividing integers. Same signs give plus, different signs give minus. So a minus by a minus gives a plus, and a minus by a plus gives a minus. Example 1, write as a single integer. So part 1, we have minus 3 multiplied by 5. So a minus by a plus gives a minus, or you could learn off different signs give minus. So we get minus 15. So a minus by plus is a minus, and 3 by 5 is 15. So different signs give minus. Part 2, minus 3 times minus 7. So here we have a minus by a minus, which is going to give a plus. So a minus by minus gives a plus, and 3 by 7 is 21. So we get positive 21. Now we don't need to write the plus sign because we know 21 on its own is really positive. So it's just 21. So a minus by minus gives a plus, or you could say same signs give plus. Part 3, minus 2 times 3 times minus 4. So taking the first two parts, we have a minus by a plus, which gives a minus, because different signs give minus, and 2 by 3 is 6, so we get minus 6. And then we bring down the multiply by, the minus 4 and the equals. And then we do minus 6 times minus 4. Well, a minus by minus gives a plus, and 6 by 4 is 24, so we get positive 24 as our answer. So a minus by minus gives a plus, or you could say same signs give plus. So we get positive 24, which is just 24. Example 2, find the value of minus 14 divided by 2. So this is a minus divided by a plus, and a minus divided by a plus gives a minus, because different signs give minus, and 14 divided by 2 is 7, so we get minus 7. So a minus divided by a plus gives a minus, or different signs give minus. Minus 26 divided by minus 2. So here we have a minus divided by a minus, which gives a plus. So a minus divided by a minus gives a plus, and 26 divided by 2 is 13. So we get positive 13 or plus 13. In the same way, we can say that the rule is same signs give plus. So minus divided by minus gives a plus, or same signs give plus. And 26 divided by 2 again is 13. So same signs give plus. Then we have minus 5 multiplied by minus 8, all divided by 4. So let's work out the top first, the numerator of our fraction. So we have minus 5 times minus 8. So a minus by a minus gives a plus, or same signs give plus, and 5 by 8 is 40. So we're going to have 40 divided by 4. And here we have a plus divided by plus will just give us a plus, and 40 divided by 4 is 10. So our final answer there is 10. Removing brackets. Minus 4 times minus 2 is the same as minus 4 multiplied by minus 2. And this is equal to 8, because a minus by minus gives a plus. Now consider minus bracket minus 4. Minus bracket minus 4 is the same as minus 1 times minus 4. Because that minus on its own, we can just stick a 1 after it. So that can actually be considered minus 1. So minus bracket minus 4 is the same thing as minus 1 times minus 4. And minus 1 times minus 4 is positive 4. So minus by minus is a plus, or same signs give plus. So minus bracket minus 4 just gives us 4. Find the value of 6 minus bracket minus 5. Well, a minus by a minus gives a plus. We bring down the 6, we bring down the 5, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. So we did a minus times a minus gives a plus. We brought down the 6, we brought down the 5, and 6 plus 5 gives 11. Part 2, minus 7 minus bracket minus 3 plus 2. So we follow bird mass first of all, so we do what's inside the bracket. Minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. Because different signs, we subtract and keep the bigger sign. So minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. And then we put the brackets around it, and we bring down the minus, the 7, and the minus. So then we do the minus times a minus gives a plus. We bring down the minus 7 and the 1. And then minus 7 plus 1, different signs subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So different signs subtract and keep the bigger sign. So 7 take away 1 is 6, and we keep the sign, which is a minus. So we end up getting minus 6. Part 3, minus 7 times 4 minus bracket minus 5. So we start off by working out a minus times a minus gives a plus. We bring everything else down. So we have minus 7 times 4 plus 5. So then we do minus 7 times 4 before we do our addition, because we have to follow bird mass. And here we're doing a minus by a plus, which gives a minus, because different signs give minus when you're multiplying. And 7 by 4 is 28. So we get minus 28. And then we bring down the plus 5. So we've minus 28 plus 5. So when you're adding or subtracting integers, different signs subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we're going to subtract. So 28 take away 5, and our answer will have to be minus. So it's minus 23. I'm going to go through these 3 examples again, but this time I'm going to do the method of putting in the invisible 1. But ultimately you can pick which method suits you. So I've drawn in the invisible 1. So minus is really minus 1. So we're going to work out minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. And that gives positive 5, because a minus by minus is a plus. And 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. Be careful here, don't write 6, because we're not adding, we're multiplying. Remember, brackets means multiply. We bring down the 6, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. So for part 2, again, I'm going to draw in the invisible 1. So we have minus 7 minus 1 multiplied by minus 3 plus 2. So we have to follow bird mass again. So we have to do what's inside the brackets first. So minus 3 plus 2 is going to be minus 1. Because when we're adding or subtracting integers, different signs, we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we're going to put brackets around the minus 1, and then we're going to bring everything else down. So I have minus 7 minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. So next I'm going to do the multiplication because we have to follow bird mass. So I'm going to multiply minus 1 by minus 1. And minus 1 by minus 1 is positive 1. Because a minus by minus is a plus, same signs give plus, and 1 times 1 is 1. Just be careful here not to write 2, because remember you're multiplying, you're not adding. So then we bring down the minus 7. And then we just follow our final step here, which is minus 7 plus 1. So we are subtracting integers, and the rule is different signs we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So minus 7 plus 1 leaves us with minus 6. And then we have part 3, minus 7 multiplied by 4 minus bracket minus 5 bracket. So we stick in our invisible 1 after the minus. So I've done it in red so it stands out. So then we're going to follow bird mass. So we can do the first 2 bits first, or we can do the last 2 bits because both of them mean multiply. So we're going to do our multiplication first. So minus 7 multiplied by positive 4. Well, a minus by plus is a minus. So different signs give minus, and 7 by 4 is 28. So we get minus 28. And then we are going to work out the right-hand side. So that I don't do it all in the one step, I'm going to just bring the rest of it down. So I'm going to have the minus, and then I'm going to have my red 1 to show that that wasn't originally there. Bracket minus 5 bracket. So now I'm going to keep following bird mass. So I'm going to do minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. And a minus by minus is a plus. And 1 times 5 is 5. So we get positive 5. So be careful here. Don't write 6 by accident. And don't add them. Because we are multiplying. Brackets means multiply. So then we just bring down the minus 28. So the last step is to subtract. And when we are adding or subtracting integers, the rule is we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So the bigger number numerically is 28. So we're going to have a minus in our answer anyway. And 28 take away 5. It's going to be 23.